appreciate everybody dialing in. We're super excited. We've gotten so much traffic on Facebook, the Instagram. Don't forget to like us. I think it's been great, the response.
Yeah, so
we're up
far,
to like 1,000 views almost.
So far, so good.
It's crazy.
Hopefully, we keep pushing out decent stuff that people want to listen to.
Right? I'm glad it's just the content. It's good. People are talking about stuff. There's so many things we want to do, and there's so little time to try to put it all together.
Right, yeah.
But we'll get it right, and we'll do a mixture of stuff. I definitely think we should be looking at like how kids are doing once they leave California and they go into college.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. So,
for sure.
Anyhow.
Real quick, too. We got some new shirts. Me and Juan are rocking our new shirts. We should have a store coming out for some merch. If people want to, hook us up, rock some of our gear. Look out at for our Instagram, Facebook, all the good stuff we got out there.
Links.
Yeah, so we'll post a link soon. Hopefully coming up next couple of days. Check it out.
It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be good. So people can
support
the gears. Support us. But let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it.
You tell me. You guys went.
Yeah, we were out at Oakdale this weekend. Man, I didn't realize how far that was from Clovis, dude.
It's a bit of a drive.
Yeah,
it's out there.
And the 99 sucks up there, man. There's construction everywhere. It's ridiculous. It's been in construction for like 3 years. But anyways, it was good, man. I mean,
so how long of a drive was it from here?
Just under 2 hours, I want to say. Which, more credit to Oakdale, too, because they go everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's pretty far.
They have to drive.
Yeah, they got to drive. So it was good, man. It wasn't too bad. It was nice preseason wrestling. You got some decent matches in, nothing crazy. So obviously, 126 was probably one of the biggest things that happened at the tournament as far as not so much maybe a little bit of controversial stuff, but it wasn't score wise or thing wise. That's
early season.
That's really
wrestling,
it. Yeah,
right?
I mean, I don't think anybody was wrestling weights. They're probably going to go for the season, but it was good. They had some good matches. I think everybody had at least a couple of decent matches against a guy was like either state qualifier or might even a place at state. So it was a good feel for a preseason. Yeah, Nevada had a couple of kids out there, which was surprising. They had like.
It was good. They added more people to
it. Yeah. Not just wrestling the same kids all the time. So that's cool to see an out of state team come to that. Like I said, I mean, this was our first time there too. So, let's see. So 113s, you had Buchanan's Chacon David. He looked pretty good. Like, I mean, he didn't have any trouble with nobody, man. I mean, he had 2 pins, 16-4 in the semis, and he won 7-2. I mean, he's brand new to Buchanan too, so he's a transfer from Hoover. So yeah, that's that. I'm curious to see how that goes forward in the season because he is a little handicapped. He is deaf, so he does have a I don't know, what would you call him, like a signed person.
Yeah,
they do
somebody that
they sign for him.
Yeah,
okay. So he always has somebody with him.
It's a bit of a challenge.
But
be interesting for the season.
Yeah, so I'm curious. But talking to Troy, I mean, he communicates pretty well with them, even if it is with just kind of showing him stuff and whatever he's doing.
Well, and the reality is, I mean, it's a feel thing, right? He's going to go wrestle. He knows how to wrestle. He wrestles, but I do see that he's got somebody that can help him communicate.
Yeah,
giving him sign language. Which is
but he looked good. I mean, nothing. Let's see, at 20. At 20's kind of surprised me a little bit, actually. Looking at it, because so they gave Dominic Bozanic the Gilroy. I think he was a blood run guy at state, and so he was up at 120s. Like I said, nobody's cutting weight right now. At least at this one, it didn't look like.
Right.
So you had him, then you had Blake Woodward for Buchanan. Was a B guy last year. Had some big wins. He had a couple wins from state place guys too during the season. I kind of thought they would be in the finals. They actually ended up on the same side though.
How'd that match go?
So they actually didn't meet until third place. So this kid from De La Salle.
At Twins, right?
Yeah, Manuel Martir. I think I'm saying. Hopefully, I'm not messing the kid's name up, man. Right. People mess my name up all the time too. Hopefully, I'm not butchering his name. He looked pretty good. I watched a couple of his matches. He's long for the weight, real tall, skinny kid. But moved well. Had a pretty good single leg. But yeah, he ended up beating. He beat Woodward 2-1. Close match.
That's a close
real match. Close match. It was pretty good. He just rode him. He just rode him pretty good.
I was gonna say, so he couldn't.
Yeah, I think it was the last.
He got out, but he couldn't score.
No, yeah, and like I said, he was long. He was thumb blocking, kind of keeping him away. And then he actually went and beat Bozanic too in the semis.
That's good.
And then he beat him.
Match.
Yeah, and they're both built pretty similar. He would,
was this a kid a state placer or
no? He didn't place a state. I don't even know if he was a qualifier.
That's good. Yeah.
But no, he looked pretty good. Yeah, so he was at Gilroy the last time too. He took third at 120s at the qualifier at Gilroy a couple weeks back too. But no, I mean, looks like he's a De La Salle kid, right? So he's kind of a Greco kid. So he was on like the junior national teams and Greco freestyle and all that. Yeah, but no, he looked pretty good though. He ended up losing to Christian Perez though, out of Del Oro.
I saw 4-1. All right.
Yeah, so not bad. I mean, Christian Perez is all right. I mean, he's not bad. He's been on the scene for a while, that Perez kid, but not bad. And then for third, you had the Bosniak Woodward match, which was it wasn't bad. It was like I said, it was pretty close, 2-1.
So 2-1, you said?
It was 2-1.
So he's got a takedown.
So you got a takedown, and then Bozanic got away, and then like I said, it was just a lot of just not a whole lot going on.
Season, man.
But yeah, Bozanic was a blood run guy, and Woodward pulled that one out. So that's good. Everybody's kind of finding their way for this. So 126 so
let's talk about.
So that was the biggest surprise of the day.
Well, you had some notable people in there, right? So you had Antonio Rodriguez, finalist for state.
Doc B finalist.
Doc B.
California State CIF finalist. 113 last year. So it was solid.
Number 1 seed.
Yeah, he got the 1 seed. And then
he pretty much did what he was doing all the way into the finals, right? He looked like he had a pin, he had a major, two majors. I mean, he was 14-0, 11-1, and a pin.
And Antonio's good. I mean, on his feet, he's really, really good, right? He moves well. He's super fast.
Gets in on legs.
Yeah, quick. He's in and out everywhere, real good. He's a solid wrestler, right? I mean, he's really, really good. I mean, obviously by his accolades. Went against Sandoval Josiah from Elk Grove Wrestling up north.
See, this was surprising.
Yeah, because I didn't really know the Sandoval kid really, so I looked up his stuff. I mean, he was fifth at their Masters last year. Wasn't a state qualifier or nothing. I actually caught this match like right at the second period because we were in the other room while I was watching CJ in the other room, and came into it. So it was went 4-4 going into the third. Man, there was just some chippiness in this match. It was kind of crazy. So I don't know who the guy was other than he was with Oak Grove, whatever. He was filming the match, and he was just kind of barking, a little bit, just saying from stuff, from the edge of the mat, filming, just kind of saying stuff, and it started getting to Rodriguez, started getting to Antonio a little bit, and there was even a point in one of the lulls in the second period where Antonio jumped up and like kind of got in the guy's kind of in the face with the camera, and he was like, I mean, you couldn't hear what was being said or what was going on. But like it was enough for whatever the guy was saying was like really getting to him, right? And then so going to the third, it was.
And the ref didn't say anything.
So the ref went. So the ref went to, even coach, dad, whoever the guy was, and was kind of trying to brush him off the mat, like, hey, you got to take off. But then he was like, well, I'm filming, So he just kind of let it slide, right?
Yeah, should have controlled that a little bit.
Right, And then so going into the third, it's 4-4, and then so. The Sandoval kid chose down, so Antonio right away cuts him because he's great on his feet, right? So he cuts him, and then it was just shot after shot. The Sandoval kid's getting double unders. There were some good scrambles in the third, and then same thing. I think he lost his focus a little bit with dude over there just kind of chirping, because then he picked it up now that he knew that he was kind of getting to Antonio a little bit. So the guy kind of picked up the talk a little bit more. So he just kind of kept chirping. And then, so I mean, it was just he ended up losing. He got a little chippy. Had him like a real good club. So then the ref kind of, how it gets, right? You get a little club, and the ref stops a little bit, starts talking to the kids a little bit. So
hopefully he had control of the match, or you think like the ref probably didn't have a whole lot of control of it?
Not really. I mean,
were these real like CIF
so that's what was rough. So I know in the other gym, so there's 2 gyms, right? So in the other smaller gym, it was just kids. Kids were reffing, right? So like you had finals matches, and those 2 getting reffed by Oakdale wrestler kids, right? Which whatever, it's a preseason tournament, right?
Getting match time.
Right. Looked like there was maybe some dads or maybe even like assistant coaches reffing, helping out. Like I seen the strange guy from Oakdale reffing, even when he was reffing some of the matches, So you weren't getting anything. Like I don't know if any of the guys are like actual CIF refs. Like it looked like there were some guys that had like the full gear on, the full set, but I don't know exactly if they were actual refs or not. But yeah, I mean, so Sandoval kid ended up beating him, and he didn't give him anything. Like, it wasn't like he got like Antonio got burned on any calls or anything, from what I saw, right?
Right.
But
It was pretty clean.
it was pretty clean, right? He ended up 6'4". I isn't accurate from what I saw when I was out there. It should have been, either way, it should have been 5'4". Like I said, you had grandma and little kids running the computers too, so
something could have been missed.
Yeah, so yeah, they added like an unnecessary call, like unnecessary,
some technical thing,
yes, unsportsmanlike call, whatever, which wasn't called, but they
the
threw
ref
it.
didn't even call it.
No, like he called them, like they talk about it, right, and they don't call nothing, but they just threw it on. So he lost 5-4. But yeah, but we won't get into it. But the shenanigans after the fact,
I can imagine.
We're pretty.
It's a passionate sport, it's an emotional thing, and I mean, you look at it from. I'm just putting my shoes on for a minute on the other side, and you got a state placer,
state runner up, man, right?
Yeah,
I mean, Doc B runner up,
right. And so something obviously, he'll get it together.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll see each other again too,
But that sounds like it made for a very interesting week.
It made for, and that was that's towards the end of the day too, because it was a finals match, so it's towards the end of the day, long day, but it wasn't bad.
It sounded like it was a little wild.
Yeah, no. So I don't know if it's because it's preseason type stuff or what, but there was a few little things going, little altercations, kind of, obviously mainly only verbal stuff, really, obviously, but for a preseason tournament, it doesn't really mean anything. It was pretty intense already.
Nobody got thrown out.
No, nobody thrown. I did not get thrown out. Everybody, in case you were wondering, it's preseason, so I even told Troy, I was like, hey man, I'm not even in midseason form yet, so we're good, dude.
Oh my god! Well, I mean, because that's a shocker, right? That's an upset.
Yeah, that was
in any book,
and that was the biggest upset of the day. Obviously, I mean, whenever state runner-up, Dr. B runner-up ends up losing to a kid that was not even state qualifier. Right? Yeah, I mean, but good on the Sandoval kid, man. I mean, he wrestled him tough. He was in the match, just grinded out the win, man. He just grinded it out.
He stayed focused.
Yeah, good on him.
That's a tough thing, but
right?
Hopefully, I mean, I'm sure they'll see each other again. They're up there.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of, we've known Antonio and his dad for a long time, so him and CJ wrestled. Shit, I can't even count how many times they wrestled. Right. So so we have a little bit of a relationship. So it's like, what do you tell somebody? Hey man, you'll get him again. It should motivate you for the year, right? Hopefully, help you catch the guy again.
This doesn't light a fire.
Right.
Because I mean, you think about it. Something obviously he went from tech and pin and putting up tons of points to.
Well, going into it, you would just think, Antonio's going to run through everybody, Yeah. But like I said, good on the Sandoval kid, man. He wrestled him hard, and he grinded him. Yeah, man, it was good.
Even though somebody was chirping in
right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not all into that, but
But it happens.
Yeah, it happens all the time, right? It happens all the time. You'll get people that say stuff to try to get in somebody's head.
What was next?
You just go to 32s. You had CJ. CJ worked in there. He got the 1 seed. You had Paris Reese, who was a B guy for Buchanan last year, but
I saw that.
He's good. I mean, I think everybody kind of, at least who knows Paris, would say he probably would have placed last year at state if he was in the lineup.
Yeah, so there was some good ones in there.
Yeah, and then you had Ezekiel Vela, he got the 2 seed. He was on the bottom side, and he was a state placer last year at 120s. So I mean, I kind of figured it was going to be him and CJ probably in the finals. But Paris is good. Paris could have. So they actually, him and Vela met in the semis, and Vela beat him 6-1. Yeah. Now, I didn't see the match because I said we were kind of running back and forth to the other gym. So I was actually in the other gym during that match. Anthony, did you watch it, Anthony, at all?
No.
So see, Anthony didn't watch either. So I don't really know what happened with that one. So I don't know what it was, but he did beat him. He beat him 6-1.
Not bad. He's good.
Yeah, he's a state placer. So he's a solid wrestler. CJ ended up beating him 5-2 in the finals. There wasn't a whole lot, even as his dad, there wasn't a whole lot in the match, really. It was just a basic solid match. Nobody really did anything surprising, or they would.
No, but I mean, everybody's still like, this is preseason stuff, but it's good.
Yeah,
so you got some mat time, and you got
it wasn't bad.
Another state placer, which is good.
So so that that was good. It was I tell you what, the Oakdale people were a little surprised. I think more surprised than anybody because they
did he win?
Yeah, because they're
like, what is going on?
Yeah, they made us check the bracket like 3 different times before they did anything. But that's funny though.
That's kind of how it goes, right? Sometimes,
yeah, but no, it was good though. It was not bad. 138.
Yeah, I was gonna say who was
this one actually had quite a bit of kids that I knew that have been wrestling. Little
Different weight classes
Yeah,
now?
different weight classes, and the kids that have just been wrestling for a while, and they've done a lot of different tournaments, national scene type stuff. So you had, let's see, so you had Ivan Arias, Buchanan, another B guy for them. They had Jameson French, who's a Del Oro kid. He's not bad. I've seen him wrestle for years. He's not bad. You had Ashton Besmer, which I tell you what, Ashton looks good, dude.
I'm telling you,
He looks good.
Last week, in Gilroy, I was very impressed with his demeanor and his desire. I mean, he's dialed in.
Yeah,
I mean,
he looks
like
good.
He did what he was doing all the way through. I don't think anybody scored on. Did anybody score on him? No, he went.
No, he had Penn, Major, and then Major. Yeah, like I'm saying, man, Ashton looks really, really good. I've been very impressed with how Ashton's looking so far.
In work, you could tell.
Yeah, he's
doing great.
So he had
he beat the Martinez.
Yeah, he beat Martinez in the finals
from Oakdale. That's good.
Yeah,
man, that's good.
Yeah, Martinez didn't have
0.
And Martinez didn't have any trouble until Ashton. He had 2 pins, 13-7 in the semis, and then Ashton majored him 9-0.
And they're always prepared. Those kids are.
Oakdale's a good team. Oakdale always has solid wrestlers. But no, Ashton looked good. He looks great.
And this is at this weight class.
This is at 38s, right? Like I said, granted, guys are probably a little bigger than that, but he looks good, man. Ashton, he looks nice and thick. He's healthy looking.
He's exploding.
Ashton's gonna be a sleeper, whatever weight he ends up at.
Yes,
he's gonna be someone to deal with, man. Ashton looked really good. You had Ivan, who's a backup. Ivan Arias from Buchanan too, who's a backup. He ended up taking third. Man, this kid wrestled like 8 times, dude.
He had the long way there.
Yeah,
because it looked like he dropped that match very early on.
Yeah, so he dropped the match early on to De La Fuente, ground coach. I don't even know what school that's from. Yuba City. So that's up by Sacramento too.
Then he comes back. And catches him again.
So they ended up catching each other on the backside for third, and there's a little chippiness on that one too towards the end, man. So, so like the kid beats Ivan, like in the quarters, I think. Ivan comes back, gets him. Yeah, comes out and beats him and gets him in third, and it was close. That kid was scrappy. I seen kind of the back end of that match, and he was scrappy. They were kind of go back and forth. So Ivan beats him 3-1, and then when they were getting ready to shake hands afterwards, the kid gives him a nice little shoulder check at the end.
Didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, it's like, man, screw you, dude.
So because the kid pinned him.
So the kid had like a, what would you say? It was like a half like bar almost, kind of like underhook kind of thing. It was kind of because it was on bottom, right? So he kind of had like both his shoulders kind of hooked, and then Ivan tried to like Granby into it, and the kid almost had like a semi-assassin kind of looking thing on him. Good. And he was just stuck. I don't care. I don't care who you are. I mean, it was almost like Spencer Lee against the Purdue kid, right? It was like he wasn't gonna go nowhere, dude. And it was funny. I was talking to him after, man. He was like, man, I'm so embarrassed, man. I go, hey, dude, it happens to everybody. Absolutely. Dude, it happens.
Absolutely.
Which was good because he got the get back, right? So he got, he worked through, went back, got the kid again.
That's impressive because I'm looking at how many matches he had.
He had a whole bunch of matches.
He had to run them all back.
Yeah, and like he wasn't getting like pins and stuff either. Like he took a lot of them to the distance, so he got a whole lot of work in, man.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he did good. I mean, his third place match was 3-1.
Yeah, and he's going to be another kid for Buchanan. It's going to be in the mix to try to make that lineup. I mean, they got a lot of good guys over there, man, that are all close to the same weight.
No, so this is another one of those.
So we got 50s. Now you had Gavin Bowder, who I kind of
transferred.
Transferred from Norwich, who's now at Buchanan. I figured he was a guy in it, but Buchanan had Jax Frost, who's also
Frost was in
on there.
Yep.
He ended
pretty much went. I mean,
Bowder did what he did. I thought it was going to be
Frost,
probably Frost and Bowder in the finals.
So how did? Wait a second. Who did Frost?
He lost to Paul Johnson from Elk Grove. So another Elk Grove kid, like the same.
Oh yeah. Paul Anthony.
Yeah. So this match was actually not really controversial. Jack's kind of, he kind of just
put himself in a bad spot.
He had a brain fart. He did something dumb. He was ahead, I think, by was it 3, Anthony, or something like that. So he was up by 3, right, with 12 seconds left in the second period. So the kid was on bottom and Jax was on top, and then pulls him into his crab, sinks a half in, doesn't really elevate him over or get his hips off. He doesn't get his hips off to the side, and the kid kind of just switches into him, sticks him. It's preseason. You make mistakes.
I've never been a fan of like that crab ride.
Yeah,
because if you don't get
12 seconds left, man. It's match awareness, right? It's match awareness.
That's that's a tough match there.
Yeah. So then Jax came back, ended up getting a pin for third. Beat that Horverson kid. Like I said, that I remember that kid. He's not bad. Bowder did Bowder stuff, man. He was 13-2 in the final. He looked good. I only saw a couple of his matches, but I mean, just he moved. He was in. He was in and out. And he was just getting off of guys, man. It was good. He looked really good. I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see how the season shakes out for him because he looked really, really good. So 57s had. So you had Joe Toscano for Buchanan, state runner-up last year, Doc B champ.
This is when I would have gone
to go watch. So this one, the anticipation was Joe Toscano and EJ Parco, right? So they were both 1 and 2. The reality was there was nobody else in that weight class. Those dudes were going to get to the final. Yeah, they were going to get to the final. So neither one of them had really any trouble until they got to the final, and then.
It looks like they were just.
Yeah, man. Joe grinded out a tough 1-0 win, man. It was good. Like I said, I kind of was watching that one and Rodriguez one that we covered at 126 because they were kind of right next to each other on the mat. Not a whole lot. Like I said, Anthony was always in the corner. So Anthony said I missed this part, but Anthony was saying that Parco hit Joe with like a nice little slick little slide by,
yeah.
And then Joe just did Joe stuff, started scrambling around, ended up being into the.
We didn't give it up, right?
No, yeah, Joe's solid, right? So. Ends up not giving up the takedown. Period ends, and then gets away. So he chose bottom the second. Rode him.
Got the one.
Yeah, so he rode him tough for a while. Joe ends up getting away, and then nothing else happens on the feet. Was that what it was? It was a loss of control. Okay,
going out of bounds kind of thing. Out of control. Okay.
Okay, so he gets the one, and then Joe just rode him.
So Parco took down in the third. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get out.
No, Joe just rode him like a dog.
That's impressive. Man.
Yeah. Because, last year Parco was – they had Parco ranked the number one kid in the country, right?
Yeah. That's what's crazy about this. Right. Number one kid in the country, Stanford commit.
Yeah, he's going to Stanford.
And
it's a good preseason – it's a good one in general.
Yeah, because I think he's still ranked, like right now nationally, right? Yeah. They got him ranked pretty high, and Joseph Toscano at 157 pounds just beat Parco.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And my guess would be Parco probably goes 52s for the season, but –
Yeah,
I
agree.
But and he's solid, right? Parco's a solid wrestler. Doesn't do nothing fancy really, just a solid, basic, fundamental wrestler. But he's good, man. He ran through the weight class until we got to Joe, and Joe grinded him out, man. It was a solid win. Joe's great on top. He could ride really well.
When if you're not ready to get get fundamental and get the heck out and get to your feet and immediately get out, boy, Joe's gonna ride you. He's gonna put legs in. Here comes a power half. Here comes these attempts to turn you.
So that was a good match. That was good. It was a tough match. It was almost like a, it was like a state match, like a state tournament match.
That's a good one right there.
Early
on to have it. I'll tell you, because what kills me is this is just me, right? It doesn't matter. People can say whatever they're going to say, and that's fine. Everybody has an opinion.
Right.
I was shocked to see Parco at number 1 last year. I just didn't think he was that good.
Right.
But this is just an opinion, so it doesn't matter.
Of course.
But then the season told,
Well, he ended up taking
matches when they mattered
most.
He
took 5th at state this last year. So he took 5th.
Yeah,
right?
He lost to Priest. He lost to there was some tough matches.
Yeah.
But my point is, how do you go from being the number 1 kid in the nation, right? And this is why I have issues with Flo's ranking. It is kind of what it is.
Right.
Like, look, they got rankings up right now that have last year weight classes with kids that we all know will never be in those weight classes ever.
Yeah.
Like, not anytime soon. Not in this year.
Or they'll never ever see him again in their life, right?
So and it's fine, but at least do the analysis, in my opinion.
Right.
But whatever. And it's Parco losing that's a close match. It could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And at the end, Joseph Toscano got it done.
Yeah, Joe's good, man. Joe's tough. He always finds a way to grind out a tough win. It was good, man. It was a good. Awesome. It's a good win for going into the season. 65s. Smaller tournament. There was Buchanan kids all over the place in this one. Look, you had Angelo Bajarano, who was he
won the whole thing.
Yeah, he was a B guy last year. You have Patrick Roberts, who was on the bottom side.
Okay. Yeah.
So they met in the finals. Neither one. Patrick had a pretty tough match in the semis. He won 4-2. some De La Salle kid. I can't even say this kid's last name. I'm not even gonna try it, man.
That was a pretty long one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Well, his first name's Franklin. So if you're in De La Salle, you know you know Franklin E.
Yes.
He had a tough semi-final match with Patrick Roberts. So this match I actually seen. This was in the other gym, and he went right before CJ went. So Barrona just grinded him. Like I said, nothing too crazy. I mean, they're practice partners anyway, you know. So when you wrestle a partner, it's hard, right?
Each other kind of,
yeah.
That's good.
So there was a point, and I think it was towards the end, in like a third. Patrick had a spladle locked up.
Oh.
And he didn't.
Just couldn't finish.
He didn't. Well, he didn't know how to finish it.
Oh.
So I would. Even as bad as it was, I was in the back telling him, man, roll. You know, I was trying to help him out a little. You know, it's teammates.
Right,
you know, because they're both teammates, so that the coaches aren't really in the corner. Right. They're just kind of wrestling, right? So I was trying to make it a little bit better of a match. You know,
well, that's pretty good. I mean,
but he just he'll work on it. I'm sure. You know, now maybe he'll practice how to finish a split now. You know?
That's the thing. You get those opportunities, and you kind of gotta capitalize on those.
Yeah. So then ultimately, Barrona ended up getting an escape off of that. So he got a takedown in the first. And then got away, and then, like I said, when he was on top, he got out of that spladle situation that Patrick didn't know how to finish, and then ended up winning 4-0. So they're probably going to end up competing for a spot. I don't know if it's that weight or a different one, but
for sure,
they're going to be in the money. Yeah, they're going to be in the mix. 75. So the 1 seed was Mason Ontiveros. So he was a state placer last year. You remember what Mason got last year?
I think he took a 4th.
Okay, so I was actually looking forward to this one because you had Mason, and then you had Gideon Gerber from Oakdale, which he's always in matches. We've seen him all over the place. Then you had Branson John for Buchanan, another B guy for Buchanan, who's probably gonna end up trying to make a lineup, which absolutely. I would assume he probably does, but he's definitely going to be in the running for that. So I was expecting them to get in there. So Mason ended up wrestling Gerber in the semis, and it was tough.
Gerber.
Yeah,
that's impressive. Good on Gerber. I mean, that's usually one-sided kind of thing, but Gerber, I mean, 4-3.
Yeah, so that was tough. So apparently Mason tweaked something. I'm not going to speculate what it was because I don't really know, but he did. I guess he got hurt. Ended up forfeiting to Branson in the finals.
Hopefully he's okay.
So
injuries are always
right.
Not
but
fun.
Branson had a run. He had a tech and a pin and a major.
I think the Levi Boosie kid from North. I see that.
That's really it. I mean,
because the Boosie kid, I think took a 3rd, right? I think he's went.
Yeah, I believe so. He came back, so he got through the 3rd, and he ended up getting 7-6. The Boosie kid to a Panel.
The kid from Los Gatos.
Yeah. So that one had you had some decent teams. You had freaking Oakdale kid, Pittman, Buchanan, and Los Gatos. So solid wrestling teams. Solid clubs. So not bad. So Branson, he won. He got first by the forfeit from Mason because he injured out.
Injured out.
So hopefully it's nothing too serious for Mason.
He'll get back in there and.
Because Mason's good. We all know Mason. We like Mason. Hopefully we wish him the best. Hopefully he's nothing crazy. So overall though, I mean,
it was good.
It's good preseason tournament. Yeah, this was the first time we were out there, so it wasn't bad. Long day, but it was good, man. It was cool.
All right, well, let's talk about Elite 8.
Yeah, you want to transition? Let's transition
to
Elite 8.
For all the, know or don't know, that's very high-level competition.
Yes, for sure.
They put it on in Atlanta. We went to it.
We were there last year.
Last year, right?
Yeah, and if you end up in their top 8 for the second day, you're gonna see nothing but probably national ranked kids, man. Yeah, so it was good.
Precursor Super 32. Guys go out there, get a lot of good bands.
Yeah, it's a great tournament if you wanna see where you're at nationally, man.
Well, and this year, so California, they typically every once in a while California team will go. This year it was Poway.
Poway went right.
So they took their entire lineup. Kudos on them for going out there and getting some good.
Yeah, man, for sure.
They went out there. A
lot of California kids sprinkled in at other teams too, which was good.
Which was really, it's always good to see them. I mean, I wish we would have gone.
Yeah,
I would have loved to have gone just because it's high level stuff, getting us ready for Super 32 kind of thing.
And I'm sure you were like us. Like we could have probably went.
Right.
I know we got asked by a couple teams, but man, it's just
it's tough because it's
tough, man.
I mean, it's
especially when you get this last minute stuff,
Yeah, it gets expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
but good on them. So they went out there. I mean, I think overall, like, did you see the results? Kind of like.
So I went through all of the weights and results and stuff to pinpoint some of the high school kids.
Right.
The Dynasty ended up winning. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was still kind of going on. I think as I was coming over to from we were
37 to 34.
Oh, close.
Against
wow.
Power, and then I look back at this and.
Oh, there was Powell and them in the finals. Mm-hmm. Okay,
but
shout out to Adam, man. We've been on Adam's teams, man.
Right. But if you look, here's the kicker. If you look at it, they were missing some weights.
So, do you think it was one of those things where kids were trying to catch flights? So
at the end, it's what happens in that tournament
because it went pretty long, right? Yes. I remember last year. I think it ended a little earlier.
What happens is that it goes so long that people are trying to get out of there. It's Sunday. You want to get home.
Right.
You're traveling all the way back to the West Coast or wherever you're going. And then the kids, whatever, because I'm looking at just the breakdown for this one, and then we'll get into the weight class.
Yeah, for sure.
California. But the 37-34 at 25s, 32s, they started having
forfeits
because I think the kids either left or hopefully nobody got hurt. But
right, yeah,
those hurt, right?
Well,
those
you see Dynasty
points.
You see Dynasty, the two big hitters.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, they had hitters all over the damn map.
But that team was stacked.
Yeah, I mean, they had
Bassett.
They had Murner. I don't even know how to say his damn name, but the Don Monaretto kid from
Monaretto.
They had Mendoza, Forrest, Bassett. I mean, they had a murderer's row right there. Yeah. I
was shocked. So you had Andrew Barboza was on that team, right? We'll talk a little bit about.
Oh, that. He was on that team.
Yeah. We'll take a look at that.
All right.
Because he didn't have the best tournament out there.
No. But I mean, good on him. I mean, he's on. That was a solid team that he was on, man. That's good.
Rutgers, I think he's
committed to Rutgers.
So,
yeah,
that's good.
That's
good. These are high level matches, right?
Oh, that's good, man. That's cool. He's on that team.
So, I mean, I know I saw Harvey Ludington at 182s. There was some good ones. So,
that's cool, man.
So Power dropped it, 37-34, close. Even with they gave up 12 points.
Well, yeah,
give that up. I think they win this.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, you're giving up. You're starting 18-0.
Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, you give 18 points to any team.
Yeah,
that's going to be hard to come through.
That's hard to come back. So let's get into.
You want to break down these weights?
California, yeah. Let's go through.
I think kind
of like California kids.
Yeah. We'll do that. I think 106 was the first one that had California kids, right?
Yep. I know we're not going to say his name right, but
well, we're just going to call him Henry, huh?
Okay, so
we got to call him Henry, or do we want to?
Well, who do you want? You want to start with Henry? Okay. Because I had the.
Who else did you have another kid at?
106 wasn't it the Poway kid, the Arsini Kinnick, however you say that.
We couldn't say his older brother. I'm assuming it's his brother, right? The 82-pounder, I think he was last year.
Yes. So.
Was it Kikanoy or something like that?
We'll have to look at that. But he went 3 and 4 out.
Our apologies if we're butchering your name, bud.
That's some tough matches.
Yeah, he went 3 and 4. You know what though? But Poway was probably one of the only teams, and we did this last year. It's their team. It's not an all-star team. It
wasn't no all-star.
Like if people aren't aware, these aren't high school teams that are going out there. These are all national all-star teams. And Poway's taking their high school lineup. So kudos on them because, I mean, you're going out there competing with all-star teams from kids from all over the place.
It's very humbling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, we experienced that a little bit last year.
Absolutely. It's just great because you get them out there. You get to see how they're doing.
Now, did they make top 8, Poway?
So we can kind of walk that through, but I think they went overall 5 and 3 or something like that. To look at this real quick.
Dual record total.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because once you get, they do the bracket on the back day 2, and then once you fall out, they start doing
then you're like it's basically like a gold pool, silver pool kind of thing. So it doesn't look like they made the gold pool.
No.
Okay.
Once I think they were.
So they didn't. They I'm sure they got some in the round robin, but they missed out on getting the real grind of that gold pool then.
Yeah, because then there's good kids on every team.
Yeah. No, you're gonna see good kids everywhere.
Out, it's kind of hard.
Right. You'll catch a couple here and there. So let's say, what did he do? So he went 3 and 4. Witt kid, I recognize this Kansas City Witt kid. He was on the Kansas Marshals. He's pretty good.
He win that match.
No, he lost 2. He lost 12-5. Okay. Don't really. And so these are littler guys. So I don't really recognize a whole lot of the names. Yeah.
I mean, for California kids, so he did 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And then who else did we have there?
You had the. I hope I'm saying the kid's name. Ian Henry. He was on the Carnage. He went 4 and 3. Now him. No, I think he's nationally ranked. I think too. At least I seen his name in like the top 100 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Freshman coming in, I think. I've heard his name though. He's not bad.
And that's cool. I mean, you're going out to this level of
yeah. So the kids he lost to are all national kids. I've seen these kids all over the place. So not bad, you know. I think on the California scene, I think he'll be in the running.
He'll be in the running.
Yeah,
sure.
He's definitely going to be in the running. He's not bad. I've seen him wrestle a little bit. He's pretty good. Yeah, at sixes, I think those were the only two that I recognized.
Okay.
For California.
Yeah, same here. I didn't see anybody else.
Going at 13.
We missed somebody. I'm sure they'll let us know.
So 13 is just off the top. I see Abram Klein, who was state runner-up this year, senior. He's going somewhere. I think he's. Do you remember where he's going?
I don't know.
I think he's committed already. I don't remember where. I want to say Maryland.
Do you know where? Have you? Okay. That's good. I mean,
I know he's committed somewhere. I want to say Maryland. Hopefully I'm not wrong. We could check. We could check later. We'll check. You can fact check us.
We are going to do the facts check, right? So, because he went out there. I mean, in arguably a very, very difficult weight class too, right?
Yeah, I mean, he lost to Monaretto, who's a world champ a couple years back.
Guy's awesome. He got pinned, you know.
Yeah, he lost to Matt O'Neill, who's a 8th grader, but had a good run last year at Super 32. O'Neill did, I think at 106s. He's good. We've been on a couple of dual teams with him a few years back. He's a hell of a leg rider. Yeah. So he's pretty good. The Yurchik kid I've heard of him too. He has an older brother that I think we've seen before. So those were his 3 losses, but he did good. He beat Revan Dickman, who's we've been on dual teams with him before too. He's pretty solid. He beat Aiden Thomas, who's an Oklahoma kid. He was on a Kansas team, and he's pretty good. He's not bad. I've always seen his name on the national scene, so that's not a bad win for him too. He beat him 4-1. Yeah, not bad. I mean, he only lost, looks like, to some like really solid national ranked kids like Monaretto's. I mean, he's like a top 5 kid, I think, at 113s. The O'Neill kid's probably a top 5 middle school kid. Right. I mean, he's really good.
Legit.
He's legit. Yeah, he's legit. The Thomas kid's pretty good. I want to say he's ranked too nationally, if I remember right. So that's a good win. That's a good win for him. But Abrams, he's state runner up last year. He lost to Rockland, or I think he took 3rd at state last year, right?
That sounds right.
Right, he took 3rd, Anthony. Yeah, you know what he did? He beat Thunder Lewis of Clovis for 3rd. But he's tough. He was what I think. He was a Doc B placer as well. I mean, Abrams good, man. He's going to be in the running this year again for a state title, senior year. So I'm sure he's hoping to get one.
When especially if he's committed, right? He's going off, and
so he's going to already go to that next level. So, but Abrams solid, man. Abrams been good. Shit, I remember CJ wrestled when he was like 5 years old at USA State, man. I mean,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
you think about it.
He's been on the scene for a while. Looks like next was Devin Bobson of Poway. So he wasn't a starter last year.
No.
Looks like everything's kind of points, so he might be their 15-pounder this year.
Well, he's right there, right? So
So
he went 4-3 out there.
Yeah. So he lost to the O'Neill kid. Looks like that kid bumped up. Yeah. So he lost to the O'Neill kid.
He lost to the Moretto.
He beat the Thomas kid too. So that's a good win.
Yep.
It's kind of the same thing as Klein. He lost to just kind of like those national ranked kids,
That tough matches.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I watched some of these, and there's a lot of action going on.
Oh man, yeah.
These guys can move, but when they're little like that, they're just so dynamic.
So that looks like the only kids at 13 that I recognize from California.
Same here.
So 20s is going to have more of the kids. So you had Moses Mendoza from Gilroy. He had a good day, man. Moses is solid, man. I'm really impressed.
He went with Powa, right?
Yeah, he was on the Powa team that was in the finals.
Yeah, so he went 5-2 out there.
Yeah, so he lost to Gage Botero, which that kid's tough, man.
That was a tough match.
Yeah.
8-3.
But Moses beat Antonio Mills, who's nationally ranked. And that's a good one. He beat Keanu Dillard, majored Keanu Dillard. That's really impressive.
13-5.
Yeah, that's really impressive because the Dillard kid's good. Yeah. So that's a good win for Moses, man. Yeah, he only lost to Botero and Seth Mendoza. Seth Mendoza's,
and it was a close match. 5-3.
No, Moses is tough, man. I mean, if Moses stays at 120s, man, he's gonna be something to deal with, man. He's tough, man. Super impressive.
You had let's see, who else was that?
So you had Edwin Sierra at Poway. So he went 4-3. He went 4-3.
Yeah. He had some tough matches.
Yeah, close matches, man.
Yeah, for sure. All of these weren't like.
Yeah, you're not gonna. It's gonna be very rare to blow anybody out at this tournament unless you're just kind of an all world kind of kid.
Yes.
But Bryson Valdez for Mamas, he beat 7-4. That kid's not bad. I recognize that kid's name. He's pretty good. He lost to Dillard Mills Mendoza. He lost to just national ranked kids, and they're close matches.
Yeah, they're not.
One thing goes a different way. Maybe he's winning these ones. But I think Edwin going into this was national ranked too. I think he's like 14th or something, like 120. You're going to see national kids at this tournament. That's just kind of what it is.
Right? You go for those big matches. You go out there to go and.
Edwin was 5th last year at 13. So he's good, man. It's not bad. That's not a bad showing.
No, that was pretty good. And honestly, you had some of the cream of the crop there. Period.
And then they had another kid, Robert Jones. He's a Poway kid too. Wasn't on the Poway team, but he was out there. So they probably just tried to get him on a team since they were all going anyway. Went 1-3. I don't know where he goes on their team. Maybe him and Bobzian try to go 13s. Who knows, right?
Right.
I want to say he's a junior. The Bobzian kid is a junior, I think too. So maybe one of them probably gets in there somewhere. I'm sure this year.
Those are always tough.
Yeah, that's the only thing I see. I think that's the only California kids at 20s.
I didn't see anybody else at 20s.
So 26s.
We'll jump over to 26s. You guys.
I don't know.
Guys like Jack Forrest. They were just killing it out there. Right?
Yeah, that was a pretty rough weight class. So you had Billy Townsend, Poway. Obviously, Poway went.
He did not have.
That surprised me a little bit because Billy's pretty tough, man.
He went 2-5.
Went 2-5.
And
he had a good win over Dimitri Alarcon for Black. And we've been on dual teams with Dimitri. He's tough, man.
Tough kid.
He's a solid wrestler. So that's a good win for Billy right there. Beat Zach Boskin. Stronghold, Techfall, that kid. I'm not sure really. I don't know too much about that kid. But yeah, they're super. All these weight classes are tough, man. So.
Yeah, because then he dropped a close one to Cannon, right? Ackland.
To Cannon Ackland, he's an Oklahoma kid. He's good. That kid was winning Tulsa tournaments when he was like 4 and 6 years old. He's always been really good.
Nationals.
Yeah, he's always all over it.
He had a tough one too with the Vinny Piano kid, right? What was that?
Yeah, he lost that one in overtime. So
Sun victory, right? 6-3.
So that was a tough match.
Could have gone, but the Jack Force match, that's Jack Force.
Yeah, and then like I said, yeah, and then the Cement kid's really good too for Team Thunder. He lost that one. I think he was only a California kid at 26s. I didn't see nobody else that I see.
Anybody else? Maybe I missed it.
Let's go to 32s.
At 32s you have Bo Bassett.
Yeah, you have Bo Bassett. You have Cooper Hilton, who's great too. Yeah. He's really good. Nick O'Neill is tough.
They had some good kids.
Yeah, this weight class has some hammers, studs. Man. So you got the Poway Navidad, who didn't place last year, was surprising to most of us, right? We all kind of figured. I think he was ranked. I think he was ranked second in the state last year, right?
States, and he dropped. He didn't place, but even at this 3 and 4.
Yeah, he went 3 and 4.
Those were tough days.
Let me see who his wins were. The Boston kid, you know that kid.
Yeah, he's from Arizona.
Yeah, he's an Arizona kid. He lost. He lost to Nick O'Neill. I don't know who the Swenson kid is. Noah Nininger from Kansas. He lost to Bo Bassett. Those you can't really.
Right, it's Bo Bassett, right? So
yeah.
And he went out there. Zepeda said though, "Hey, I got this. Don't worry." I'm just saying. But he was at 32s.
Yeah, and he'll probably go that for the year. I imagine. I think last year he was at 20s. Was he at 26, Anthony, last year? Navidad. Yeah.
So. And this is kind of good because it gives you an indication maybe of where they're at.
Right? Yeah, because. You got to figure you're gonna cut down for this tournament. You're not going where you're just kind of walking around there.
In. We did that because we didn't know any better. But let me tell you, this is
So you're gonna. This is probably where we'll see them for the season, more than likely. But he looks like he was the only California kid at 32. So
I didn't see anybody else. I mean, at 38, probably one of the best showings for a California kid.
Paul Kelly had a tournament.
He had a day.
Yeah, he had a tournament.
2 days.
Missed out on some of the matches he probably wanted as a wrestler. He probably wanted those matches.
Yeah.
Because like I said, unfortunately they didn't get into basically the gold pool, where he would have saw some of those matches.
Well, yeah, because I would love to have seen him and the Robidoux kid. I mean, Landon, that would have been great. That kid went 7-0 as well.
Yeah, so he missed out on some of those other ones, but 7-0 over there, man. I mean, because he got a win on Tahir Perkins, majored him.
He had one forfeit, but I mean, this is great. Like he had some good wins. He's looking.
Nothing
good.
was close. I mean, he had a pen major. He had one decision. That was it. Everything else was good, man.
He had 2 good days.
He had a tournament, man. Good on him.
Good on you. Yep.
Let's see what else we got here.
Was somebody else in there too? Or was that it?
No. Looks like he was the only one. Yeah.
California.
So we'll go up to
California kids representing. Right? That's good.
So we'll go to 45s. So they didn't use the new high school weights.
No.
For what it looks like, but.
Well, it's weird because some things. No, you're right. They did not yet.
Right.
But they were using college rules.
Yeah. Now you were telling me about that. So that's interesting.
Huge.
That's kind of cool. So they were going 3-point takedowns.
Oh, man.
They were going riding time.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. That's cool for these kids to get used for that next level, right?
And let me tell you, I think that's exactly it. It's some kids not understanding the score.
Yeah.
And I saw one of the matches, and we'll talk a little bit about it here, but it was the Posada match. The kid was down. Posada's winning this match, and the kid hits a takedown.
Oh,
and
wow.
it changes the dynamic, but it's not because he got out or whatever. Now it's 3 to whatever, and you're from behind, right? You just gave up a takedown, which is 3 points. It's tough. It's a tough thing. But let's see, 45s.
So 45s, I don't even see.
Yeah, they had Poway had a kid, Jack.
Oh, okay, Jack Estevez. Okay, so he went 1-6.
Yeah, that was
tough day. He had a tough day.
Yeah.
So who did he beat? Bradley Williams from Black Mamas. Tech fought that kid. Yeah. He lost one in overtime.
Sudden victory. Deshaun Powell.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know who that is either.
Yeah,
look, it's tough. It's humbling. You go out there, and I'm not sure. Is Jack? I don't remember seeing him in their roster last year. Is he?
I don't recognize the name.
Okay.
So
52s.
Yes.
So you had a couple California kids.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll start with Leo Contino first.
Right.
He had a great.
He had a good tournament. He had a good tournament. He lost to
Zach.
And he went 4-0. He only had 4 matches, but this kid beat three California kids.
He took out 3 Californians, and he took out no. This kid, I'm telling you, I had to do a little research on this kid.
Okay, looking at the results, I mean, he beat Laird Root. He beat who was a state finalist for us for California.
What was that score?
5-2.
5-2.
He won in overtime with Andrew Barbosa, who didn't place last year, but had a hell of a tournament. Took eventual state champ and Miguel Estrada into overtime, and then he beat Leo Contino in tiebreaker. So
that was a
tough match, man.
But the kid came to wrestle.
Yeah,
because I mean, you take that away, Leo's did phenomenal.
Yeah, and Leo
took out some
good match. He took out the Robinson kid, which that's a good win.
Yeah, that's huge.
Beat Jason Mara, who's an ex-California kid, now at Idaho, going to Stanford.
Yep.
Jason's, he's a USA, freaking national champ. We always see him out in April over there. Yeah, he's good. He pinned Andrew Barbosa. So that's good, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Crazy, man. And then you have Root for Poway.
Right. So you had Laird Root, who, I mean, he had a really good tournament himself.
Yeah,
right?
He beat the Robinson kid too, which the Robinson kid's really good. Looks like he had a couple forfights.
Yeah, that's always tough. And
had an overtime win over Andrew.
He beat a kid, Hunter Sturgill. I know that kid. Yep. So
he had a good tournament too, man.
Yeah, I was good. I was looking forward to the Leo Contino in Laird Root, Matt, if they would have had it, but
they didn't get it. Yeah, they didn't get it, which is surprising because I think they both teams they were on ended up not making the top 8, the gold pool one. So
those are tough.
That would have been a good one to see.
But Laird Root did beat Andrew Barbosa.
Yeah, in overtime. Yeah.
So
then to Andrew went 4-3.
4-3.
Lost to the Balanta kid. Lost to Root. Lost to Contino. So there's some California implications with that one.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like I said, with those, I'm sure they'll see each other again. Just think of those 3 guys alone. I mean, if you're going into the season, I mean, that's kind of talent, right? You know,
yeah.
we didn't get the Leo Root one, but yeah, that's good, man. I mean,
well, and they did the goodness of that is though, so they saw each other, right? Laird Root and Andrew Barbosa,
right?
And then Barbosa had pretty much
he had
saw
both
two
of them.
kids.
He saw 2 California kids to kind of see where he's at. So I'm sure he'll make adjustments, and then it's early on. Nobody's in mid-season form right now, so.
But if you're going to Super 32,
you
take losses like that, and it's tough because what does that do to you psychologically? Like, okay, I'm going to do this. I just dropped these matches. Now they're close matches.
Yeah,
you're in this match,
of course.
So you turn it around and you go get it done. But yeah, I mean, Andrew Barbosa beat Jason Mara 12-11 or 12-1.
That's a good win.
Huge.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, so
awesome
Andrew's committed to Rutgers, and then Jason Mars to Stanford. But yeah, I mean he majored him, right? It was 12-1. So that's a good win.
Yes.
He beat the Vojnovic kid too for Power. That's good too. 12-5.
It was let's see who was from California.
So you got Colin Guffey.
Man.
Now Guffey was state runner up last year.
Yeah, he lost to Montanona.
That's right.
To the brother, but he gave him a hell of a match, man.
Yeah, he did. He went after him.
He did good. And
yeah,
I'm always impressed. He's
solid. Guffey,
since he was a kid, he's always been.
He's a solid wrestler. Really good.
Just he's there.
Yeah,
and he dropped one match.
He lost to the Burden kid at Power.
Yeah, I thought that'd be. Where did Reyes? Oh, so Reyes was probably the next weight class.
Okay, so we're talking about Adrian or we're talking about Andrew?
Andrew, yeah. We'll have to talk about it. I think Posada went 182s for them. So.
Okay. Also, Posada went a little heavier than
usual. I would have thought it would seem, but it's 170.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So, and they're taking their lineup, and I think maybe.
Right. Okay, so,
we'll see how the season progresses. The interesting thing, you know what you're not seeing there? Poway didn't have a 60-pounder. If you look at the roster,
really,
they actually had Ryan Rios, who wasn't there, but he was listed at 52s, and so was Laird Root, both at 50s.
So maybe they were going to split time or something.
Maybe
but he didn't go
to 60s, but he didn't go.
Or maybe one's not.
Root ran the whole thing at 52s, which he did great.
Okay, so they had a forfeit going in at 60s and the whole time. Yeah. So that's tough, man.
That is always tough.
Anytime you're giving somebody 6 points, that's rough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like anything else. The Poway's always good about filling an entire team out. So you had Posada at 82s. He went 4-3. Interesting to you that he went 82s?
It is in a way. Like, I mean, he's tall. He's a tall boy.
He's tall, yeah. He's like 6'2", 6'3".
Super thick or anything like that, but he's a tall boy.
Now, Angelo was state runner-up last year.
Yep.
I think he took not Nico Reese, who's
in the finals.
Great, yeah. He took a third the year before,
but it was
right? Yeah, it was 160s. Maybe he filled out a little bit, though. Like I said, he is really tall.
I would be surprised if I didn't see him at 175s. So he dropped the match to this kid. We've seen him. We haven't had a match with him yet, but we've seen him. Cade Ziola.
Okay, so
from Dynasty,
he's pretty good. I know the name. I've seen him a couple times.
He's been on our team before.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
But I mean, I was surprised, man. That was because what happened.
Now, were you more surprised because it was a pin or just?
Oh yeah, I watched the video. Right,
okay.
But Angelo does a really good job of sinking in a half, and he likes to crab ride.
Well, he's got the leverage, right? He's just super long.
But you live and die with that sometimes, right?
Right.
And so if you get into these bad situations, kind of what we were talking about earlier with that other kid, where he was kind of in this crab ride.
How we're talking about with Jax, yeah.
And if you don't get your hips out or something happens, and then Angelo got reversed, and then in that scramble, Cade Ziola was able to put him on his back.
Oh, okay.
And he couldn't get up. And that's hard because you get in those positions, man. You are, at that level and that strength, it's hard. And the kid elevated his leg, tripped his leg, and you're just in a bad spot.
Right.
So yeah, that was tough. And he fought, but the kid stuck him. And I honestly think Angelo beats Cade Ziola. I don't think Cade Ziola, he probably would have lost that match, but Angelo made a mistake there. And he capitalized on it.
And so we think this is Clovis's Adrian Reyes, right?
Well, the video looks just like him.
Andre Reyes for Oklahoma.
I'm not sure what happened there.
So you said you saw the video, so that's Adrian. So we'll just go with Adrian.
Right.
So he did a couple matches at 82s and then a couple at 70s. He went 2-3.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, the jump, people like giving up weight.
I mean, it's 12-pound difference from one to the other that he was wrestling.
It is, and it's 1 day weigh-in, right?
Yeah.
So guys are coming down.
For sure.
But if you think about it, you have to be able to fire off because you cannot be behind the score when takedowns are
not when they're 3 points. Yeah, that makes a big difference, man.
I do love that they did that. I wish
that's cool,
that
high
school would adopt it. How do you guys feel about that? Like, did you?
It makes more more points on the board.
Well, I mean, that was the whole purpose, right? To get it to be, they reward the offensive guy.
Right, you're not just sitting there playing defense, stalling a little bit.
I hate the counter strikers, right? That's great, and it is a strategy, right? In boxing, it is too. But I'm just saying, like, you got to go score. Right. And if you're just watching this match and it's kind of like, if I have an opportunity to go get a takedown and that's 3, I can get myself right back in the match or get ready to take that kid really fast.
Well, it helps the more offensive guy, right? Like we're saying, so.
Yeah. I was glad they did that. It was pretty cool. And did you even see the riding time? This is why I wish we would have gone, man. That just right in our wheelhouse.
Well, it would have been interesting, right? I mean, to go at those college rules and see how you fit.
Yeah. Because then it gives you an opportunity to say, well, this is what the next level is going to look like. And
no, that's cool. I think it's cool that they did that. That's pretty good to implement it. We'll see if, I don't know if Super 32 would do it, but.
No, I don't think they have it this year, but I wish they would.
That would be cool. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they do it.
Saying, and you won't get these mixed dollars or whatever.
So we got 95s.
So you had that kid, Rylan Woodworth from down, it was Fountain Valley, right? I think he's down there.
Is he a Fountain Valley kid? Yeah, Whitworth. He went 2-5.
2-5 had a tough day.
Poway had a Bomberger. Ben Bomberger.
I think it was at Gilroy.
Okay. He went 1-3.
Yeah, he had a tough day, but he beat
the Whitworth kid. He pinned him in 35 seconds. 220s. So 220s. So Platt for Poway went 7-0. State champ last year at 95s.
Killed it out there. He did have some forfeits and stuff.
Yeah, a couple forfeits, but I mean, without the forfeits, he goes 5-0.
And I watched some of his matches.
Nothing really close from what I see.
He's fast. He kind of a little bit of Merrill-like. Like he fires off. He moves well.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's. So
if they go, that'd probably be. If they go the same way, that'd be interesting, huh?
Interesting. I just think Merrill goes, heavy.
He goes heavyweights probably.
Why get down to 220?
Yeah,
wherever he wants it, but it's interesting.
Yeah. So I think he was the only California kid out there, right?
7-0, right?
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you going 7-0 over there, even 5-0. I mean, that's great. So I don't think there was any heavyweights. Out there.
Yeah, they had Daniel Herrera. Right?
Okay,
remember,
so ex
California kid, right?
Yeah, ex Palm Desert, now at Iowa.
Right.
Because he's going to wrestle at Iowa State, playing football over there.
He had, I mean, if people
so he beat the Poway kid, Farha. Tech followed him 19-3.
Yes. He was putting on a show with that. He was just showing off.
Yeah.
But it's, they're probably playing football.
Yeah, I think he's a football kid too, so I'm actually surprised to see him out there. If he's the California kid was just a Poway kid, the Farha kid, he went 4-3. Not bad. I'm going to say we don't.
Had a forfeit.
Yeah.
A couple good ones.
So overall, a lot of California kids sprinkling in all over the place, man.
Well, what's always nice to see him getting out there, like, look.
Just competing, right? I mean.
Absolutely. And then taking out some, based on the national rankings.
Right.
Taking out kids that are nationally ranked, that's always huge. Confidence builder. They get into the season. I think that was good for a lot of these kids. I mean, the guys that I thought would perform and step up did that.
Right, yeah.
The Colin Guffey,
well, even the kids,
Root, all those guys.
But even the kids like that we saw that, had maybe closer to a 500 record, lost to really good kids. It would, drop some tough matches, and you're going to get that out there. So I think overall, not a bad showing, for California kids out there.
I mean, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. As we get ramped up during the season, we're going to be breaking down tournaments. Obviously, as the season gets going, that'll be good for us to be able to do that. We'll do some more interviews. We'll talk to other people. And don't forget to subscribe. We're just trying to get as much content out there that it is. It's during the
it is. Yeah.
Stuff,
yeah. Hey man, check out like I said, check out our Facebook page, Instagram, our YouTube channel. We're trying to put stuff out there.
So the intent is to do the merch. Like we're trying to get
like we said. So we'll have a T-shirt store. It's a merch store. I'm not quite sure what exactly is all gonna be on there, but I'm assuming it's gonna be T-shirts and maybe some hats, some sweaters and stuff. Whatever. So man, hopefully we'll have that up and running in the next couple of days.
Absolutely.
So it'd be cool to see not just us or our kids rocking some Cali weigh-in gear, man. It'd be cool.
That'd be good.